Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me as I wanted to do a quick discussion on what it means to have your North Node return, your nodal return, as well as what's called a nodal reversal. And I'll explain what both of those are here in today's video because I think it can be helpful to understand what this energy is for you, especially at a soul growth level. So in your chart, you want to identify your North Node. And you can find it in your chart by looking for the glyph or symbol that looks like headphones. Okay, so it's basically an upside down U with those two little dots or circles, looks like headphones. That's your North Node. And then your South Node is always directly opposite, and it looks like that upside down glyph. Now, if on your chart, you can only find one of those, you're like, oh, I only see one, Molly, I only see the one. That is your North Node. And there are times when the South Node is intentionally left off of a chart because it confuses people. They get the two confused between what's the North Node and what's the South Node. So if you only have one on your chart, that's your North Node. And your South Node would be at the exact opposite point, the opposite astrological sign. So in this chart, it's at 28 degrees of Virgo. That's the North Node. So the South Node would be 28 degrees of Pisces. So when you were born, the nodes were at a particular location on your chart. And the nodes are about your soul growth as well as your past soul's experiences. Energies you're coming from are about the South Node. What's familiar, what's comfortable, what's known. It can show you more of what you've done in previous lifetimes, more of what you have mastered, more of what you're good at. The North Node is showing you what you're developing in this lifetime, how you're growing and stretching, you're doing something in a new way, you're developing the opposite skill set. And this can be uncomfortable because it's intentionally taking you out of your comfort zone. So these nodes show us more of what we're learning in this lifetime at a very basic level and what we are designed to focus on in order for our soul growth. So the nodes are always in reverse, they're always in retrograde. So you'll see an R right by your astrological sign. It says the degree, the sign, the minute, and then an R for retrograde because they always move in reverse. And it takes about 18, 19 years for what's called a nodal return. So that means for every single person on the planet, you are born, here is your natal chart, and then at the time of around your 18th or 19th birthday, the nodes return to this exact point in your chart. And we also correlate this to energies of destiny, of fate, what you're fated to learn, how you're designed to grow, what you are putting yourself in alignment with for the most growth in this lifetime. And so around that 18, 19 years old, the nodes return, you have a nodal return, and there's an activation of these energies in yourself. Now, in Western civilization, 18, 19 years old is a time of usually moving into a new phase of life, whether you're done with a particular type of schooling or education, or you're moving on to higher education, you're going into the workforce, you're doing something new, you're moving, you're doing something with your life. And that can be related to the nodal return energies, where you're being put in alignment with your life trajectory, where you're ready to go next. And when you know this for yourself, or you know this for your kids, you know this for your children or whomever is in your life, it helps you understand how you're designed to grow or what you're ready to do next. Because that nodal return is basically like an arrow, it's pointing the way, saying go here, go in this direction. So that happens every 19 years. okay? Once every 19 years. So you can see how this becomes a bigger deal because it takes 19 years for those nodes to travel all around the 360-degree astrological wheel. When they get back to that exact degree point, something can open up for you. There could be something that is a part of your destiny, a part of what you're energetically designed to experience in this lifetime, something that helps with your next steps, your advancement, your soul growth. So you always want to look at that around every 18 or 19 years and track it, because it's going to show you where you're ready to grow and where you're ready to go next in your life. So every 18, 19 years. Now, nodal reversal is what happens when the nodes are reversed. So about 9 years or so after you have this nodal return, the reversal is when it's obviously reversed. So in this chart, I told you how the North Node is in Virgo. About 9 years after, it's going to be the South Node in Virgo. And then the North Node will be in Pisces. So we call that's a nodal reversal when it's the opposite. And a lot of you have made comments here on my channel and on certain videos about having a nodal reversal. And what it means is that the South Node comes through and crosses over your North Node and helps you clear out anything that isn't related to your path forward. It isn't where you're going next. It helps you with understanding where you've grown, what you've graduated from. It helps remove what's complete for you. It helps you essentially clear the slate and check in with yourself. When you have a nodal reversal, there can be things in your life that are changing over. You could feel like a new start is underway, a new beginning is happening. There can be a sense of you're letting things go, like you've grown with it as much as you could, and now it's over. And that South Node goes across your North Node and clears out what you don't need anymore. And then conversely, the transiting North Node is conjunct your South Node, and it's showing you what you've been learning from those South Node energies. And those South Node energies are showing you, again, what you're done with, where you're ready to elevate and have the changeover, have some things that are completed leave your life. So a nodal reversal happens 8, 9 or so years after the nodal return, and you want to keep an eye on the exact degree that your nodes are at, because that's when you could have a change of plans, a change of commitments or directions or things that matter to you. The nodal reversal is a time of turning over, changing over. Again, you could have this understanding of I'm done with all this. I don't want any of this in my life. Or there's things that maybe you aren't even consciously aware of that you're energetically complete with. So that's just something to keep an eye out for when the nodes are reversed and working with your natal nodes. Is that there's things you are ending, you're completing, you're letting go of, so that you can be in better alignment for that next level of growth and development. So this is another very interesting energy to keep track of. And it only happens, like I said, every 9 years or so, depending on, of course, the cycle. And when you track these degree points, the nodes can stay at a degree point for, usually it's a few weeks. And those would be very important weeks in your life to be aware of. What comes up? What comes through? Who walks in the door? What shows up for you? What opportunities are coming through? Because they're working with your nodes of fate, of destiny, of your soul growth in this lifetime. And the universe can make some things very clear, very obvious for you. And when you're in tune with what those energies are, you're more likely to understand what's going on, what's coming up for you, and of course, where you want to say no or where you want to say yes. So this is a good energy cycle to be aware of. And it's good to understand what's happening through your chart with the nodes. And now I can hear a question. What happens when the nodes are squaring your natal nodes? So in this chart, as I said, the north node is at 28 degrees of Virgo. So when the transiting nodes are at 28 degrees of Gemini and 28 degrees of Sagittarius, there's a square happening that's 90 degrees. A square is happening to your nodes, and that can be, as squares are, some type of tension, challenge, pressure, checking in. Am I on the right path? What do I need to shift or change? Because the squares, those 90 degrees, they apply a pressure, and they're showing you what stays and what goes. And you could be given some choices. There could be some things that change direction. Of course, this will depend on your own chart. There could be something here that, again, you're understanding and you're making a choice around what you want to do next. There could be something that is showing you as well what is energetically out of alignment and what doesn't fit, and where the universe is applying pressure to bring something to your attention, to help you see it better, to help you make a conscious choice. So that would be the square. And of course, I'm talking about this in very general terms, and it gets much more specific when you look at the astrological sign and then the house placement. That's always the case here for all, especially all the transiting planets. So the nodes are a wonderful area of your natal chart to understand. And I do recommend the books by Jan Spiller, where she talks about more of the specifics of every single north node and south node, as well as the astrological houses that you can find them in. And it's going to help you get an understanding of what you're learning in this lifetime. And even, again, the north node, it could be where you're having some challenges at times because you're doing something new. You're doing it in a new way. And you're developing these new skills that aren't maybe going to feel natural or normal at first. But then once you understand you're doing this because it's your soul growth intention, then that can support you with what you're ready to master. So I hope this is giving you some good insights into these nodes, nodal return, nodal reversal, and then what happens when there is a square to your nodes as well. So thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to connect with you. Thank you for your likes, subscribes, comments, shares, all of that. It's greatly appreciated. And I have new videos for you here on YouTube every Friday, as well as my podcast every Monday and Wednesday. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you back here really soon.